Hi, this is Benjamin Burgess of K Street Photography, DC. When I'm on a big project or journeying through the sky, photographing world events, or biking through buses and oncoming traffic through the streets of DC, I listen to Matt and Mooney at subfactspodcast.com to keep me entertained.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's going on, dude?
Today's a good day.
Why is today a good
Today
day?
is a special day in music history. You know why?
No, I do not. I'm sure you'll tell me.
So on this day, back in 1974,
Whoa.
Alanis Nadine Morissette was born.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say something important.
That's extremely important. It's the most important music day in my life.
Just because she was born?
Yes. And she went on to greatness. And so I typically take the day off, to celebrate her birthday, but I didn't today. And so, I want to give her a little shout out.
Oh, there you go.
This might be the time she goes to listen and she's going to go.
I'm sure she's listened to more than one show.
I would hope. At least I hope. I don't care who listens to this show
as long as she listens.
But yeah, if I found out she listened, it would be the greatest.
We could have one listener a week as long as it was her. You'd be happy.
That would be it. And quite frankly, if she allows it and there's no stalking laws, I'll go over to her house and do a live subfact.
Oh, Jesus.
Solo.
There
if
might
need be.
Yeah, there may be stalking laws.
And so, so I think we've always had a kindred. We were kindred spirits, both Alanis and I, because we were both born in 1974.
Oh, yeah, of course. There's no one else born in 1974.
She even made a song called 1974 about being born in 74. So she's referenced it a few times.
You realize how many million people were probably born in 1974?
Agreed. But have you ever had that? Maybe it's me, but have you ever had those moments where you see somebody that's of the same age and you think because think about it. When I first found her, she was 19, right? When I was 19, I was I was going to college, I was going to school, but I was, other than that, kind of a bum. I had nothing going on for me.
Right.
And she's playing stadiums at 19. And you think, where did your trajectory go wrong?
She was playing stadiums at 19?
Yeah, Jagged Little Pill.
That was 19 years old?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess my point being,
I didn't know it was that early.
Yeah. So my point being was, it will keep in mind that tour lasted a year plus. So
sure.
Different ages, but either way,
she can't even legally drink, and she's doing
I'm pretty sure she had some alcohol in her system.
Yeah, yes, I'm saying legally.
Agreed.
Legally.
But I mean, I think it's fascinating that how is it that you see somebody of your age and you're like, man, where did I go wrong? Where did things just not work out?
Well, I see that all the time with every young star and young athlete and young genius. And
it hits you home. It hits home, I think, when it's somebody of your age. Maybe that's how I look at it. It would be worse if we had the same birthday, because then I would be like, man, we really went wrong. Something went wrong for me. But yeah, we're a couple months
I'm
off,
happy so she's your barometer.
She is my barometer in more ways than one. So,
wow. All right. Good start of the show.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Alanis. With that being said, I think we've got so much stuff on the docket. Let's just get right into my favorite part of the show.
Hey,
All right, guys.
What's up?
How are you?
What's up, dude?
Good so far.
Yeah. So I'm just repositioning the warm-up screen for us.
Repositioning.
And the first warm-up question is Paul Rudd this generation's Steve Guttenberg?
That is a fantastic question, because
wow,
I never put those
question.
I never put those two together, but everyone loves the Goots and everyone loves Paul Rudd.
I'm gonna say no.
What?
I'm gonna say no. The reason is Guttenberg played a different type of character. He wasn't a Paul Rudd type character. Paul Rudd had a little bit more of endearing side, a little bit more of a romantic side. He's never been. Sometimes he could be like the Goots, but he's not
you're so wrong.
No, I'm not. Look at him in Ghostbusters. Goots can't play that role. He's not that. He's very what do you call it?
Gooch could
He's very mellow, and then he becomes like agitated, like in that whole. This is.
I only saw the new Ghostbusters once, but I don't think Gooch could easily do that. He played a science teacher in Goldberg's right now.
Okay, and if you say so, but like he did Police Academy, he played a police officer. I don't see Paul Rudd playing a police officer and a womanizer. Paul Rudd has never played like a ladies' man, ever. And Gooch plays a ladies' man more than once. He plays it in all the police academies. He plays it in Cocoon. What else did he do?
He did that movie. I don't remember what it's called, but I watched on HBO all the time, where he played like a nice guy, but then he played a guy with like long hair. He was like, I am Lobo. I live alone.
I'm telling you, he plays ladies' men.
I think they're the same guy. I'm not gonna lie. I never would have put those two together. I think 100%.
Just because they look similar?
No, the Gooch could easily play like Ant-Man. He could easily do that.
He cannot play Ant-Man.
100%.
Oh my God.
And there's nothing that Paul Rudd.
He's not playing Ant-Man.
I think
Paul Rudd is not playing Mahoney. Mahoney.
No, 100% Paul Rudd could be Mahoney.
I think he could easily be Mahoney.
And he could play Cocoon. They could easily switch those roles out. 100% same guy.
He could do Cocoon, I think, but I don't think he could be Mahoney.
I'm never going to see them differently now. Thanks, warm up.
Way to go. Thanks.
All right.
I love me the Goots.
All right. The next question. Would you rather get a free Ferrari, but it always has a thick layer of baked beans on the floor? Or
Ew.
Would you rather get a free Ferrari, but whenever it's turned on, it plays Alvin and the Chipmunks soundtrack very loudly and it can't be turned off?
Well, for starters,
of course, I would take the latter. I would take a free Ferrari and listen to the Alvin and the Chipmunks, but I'm not fitting in a Ferrari.
That's where I was going to go. I was like, honestly, neither one of us are actually fitting in a Ferrari. Like, it's just not happening. And you're better off than fitting than I am, but it would be so uncomfortable.
No, I would not.
Case.
Okay, A, I do not want to try and fit in a Ferrari. B, I have no desire to drive fast in a Ferrari.
We would be the worst Ferrari owner. Like, you goof on me for being a Jeep owner, and I'm the worst Jeep owner. I would be 10 times worse as a Ferrari owner. I would literally be the worst Ferrari owner.
I would. You know what I would do? I would say probably take the baked beans, see how much that decreases the value of the car, and then sell it and buy myself a pimped out Jeep. Yeah,
like I hate baked beans to begin with. I'm not gonna lie. When Christmas comes around, I'm blaring the Chipmunks and singing them. So
yeah,
I would
actually.
If
I had to choose Chipmunks,
and quite frankly, the Chipmunks do all the hits. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
why not? I'll sing with them.
But I just can't fit in that car.
Yeah, no
I mean,
chance.
I just
convertible. It'd have to be a convertible. There's no way I'm getting in other than that.
Yeah, and they're uncomfortable anyway. They always have the sports seats where that hug you. Like, I don't want to be hugged when I'm driving.
I can't even really drive a stick. I'll be honest with you. Like, I can, and I've done it in an emergency situation, but I don't want that as my main vehicle. No.
Well, the question's better for you, Brian, because you can fit in
Brian,
it, and you're
a car guy.
Ferraris haven't had manual transmissions for a long time, so they're all automatics now.
Oh, really?
All right. Next question. Let's move on. The last question is: you have to delete 3 of these movie franchises forever, including any future projects. Pick 3 to go. You both have to agree which 3 to go.
And the good news is this is up on
nice.
YouTube. This is up on our YouTube channel. So if you want to know what movies we're looking at, check out our YouTube video.
Yeah. This is pretty straightforward and agreeable. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 you can eliminate. So I'm okay with any 3 of those 4, but you can't get rid of the rest.
Okay, you go first because I know I'm going to hurt your feelings if I say the wrong thing.
Okay, so maybe I could be swayed into 5. But okay, how about this? I will leave the show. I'm not agreeing to getting rid of Nightmare, Friday, Halloween, Saw, or Terminator. Or Scream. I'm not getting rid of any of those. Scream, Nightmare, Friday, Halloween, Evil Dead, and Saw and Terminator. I'm not getting rid of any of those.
Okay. For me,
I'd be swayed on Evil Dead.
For me, I would get rid of Evil Dead. I could live without it.
What are your non-negotiables?
My non-negotiables are Saw, Nightmare, The Exorcist. I get 3, right? What? No,
non-negotiables. Non-negotiables.
Nightmare, Exorcist, Saw, and Friday the 13th. Those are my non-negotiables. The other ones, you could talk me out of it.
Okay, so we're both agreeing Alien's gone.
Oh, 100%. Alien's gone. Terminator, I'm not that big of a fan, to be honest with you. I saw like 1 and 2 are
Terminator
great.
or Gremlins, which goes?
I personally would keep the Gremlins.
What?
I like Gremlins better than the Terminator movies.
Okay, Jaws or Terminator?
I'll take Terminator over Jaws.
So, okay, Jaws.
Actually, it's the whole franchise, though. I do like the sharks eating people, but there's other shark movies, not many Terminators. I'll take Terminator.
Jaws and Alien are gone.
Yeah, I don't care about Alien at one.
Jaws and Alien are both gone. So then that leaves Evil Dead, Gremlins, or Terminator.
To get rid of?
Yeah, we got to get rid of one.
Evil Dead. I'd get rid of Evil Dead.
Yeah, I would get rid of Gremlins before Evil Dead.
You love a Mogwai. We were just talking about it a couple weeks ago.
The Evil Dead series is so solid.
I'm not gonna lie. I got annoyed. Like 2 is good, but then Army of Darkness, when it got campy, that kind of, I just not my thing.
Only because of what they can do. I'm going to say, like, if you get Rob Zombie or Eli Roth or who's the Blumhouse. If you get them, but I want something more fierce. If you, or like a Japanese horror director, if you get them to do Gremlins, I'm in. I can get rid of Evil Dead. So yeah, Evil Dead, Jaws, and Alien.
By the way, a Gremlins reboot would be on point. You can easily create all of those things again. You don't need any of the original people.
But I want more. I want like more blood and gore and violence.
You could totally do that.
Right? I want a real, like, kid, not a kid's Gremlins.
And if you think about it, Evil Dead has already done that. Gremlins has the ability to do it. Evil Dead's only going to go down from here, right? It's never going to go up. So Gremlins can only go up.
That's what I'm saying. I want like a vicious Gremlins.
Oh, sure. I'm for it.
Right? You know, it could start off all cute and whatever, but then, once they turn into Gremlins, they are evil bastages, and they will just...
Oh, I agree.
All right. So there we go. We're getting rid of Jaws, Evil Dead, and Alien.
All right. There you go. I'm glad you guys agreed. That's the end of the warm-up.
Oh, that brings us right into Top Gun.
So I will say, everybody, we all saw Top Gun this weekend, and so we are not going to give away any spoilers.
It's been roughly a week.
No, it came out on Friday.
Right. It's been almost a week, and by the time people listen, it will be a week.
I guess my point is we shouldn't give major spoil. Like we can dance around things. I don't think it's fair.
Right, we'll dance around it.
I don't think it's fair.
We'll dance.
I will say, as far as seeing it goes, huge Top Gun fan going into it. So I was gonna love it for the most part anyway. So what I was gonna say is, for those who are planning on making a sequel, this should be your benchmark.
Absolutely.
This should be the essential, what you want to accomplish. And we've talked about this over they're going to do Lost Boys sequels, all these other things. And they hit it on the mark. And the reason why this is
Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
It really is.
This kicks off all the self-help books. This is Tony Robbins type stuff.
Because every time somebody does a sequel, they basically create the same movie over again. And that's all they do. They just create the same movie. In Top Gun, what they did was they gave you just enough similarities to make you feel comfortable. You're all nestled in your bed with your blankie. You feel great. And then they throw in different stories.
Feel good movie all the way around.
So you feel comfortable because it's something you recognize and and you love.
But you get surprises.
You get a little
differences.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Princess Bride.
Yeah, you're not
Princess Bride, the movie, but like it's like Kevin Arnold being Red Princess Bride.
Yeah.
right? You know, where he like use a different voice for a different character. Like you're getting all these surprises just as you think you're going to go to like maybe get comfortable and oh, this has already been done. Bam, it hits you with something else, and you're like, wow.
By the way, I will say my wife had the greatest. Somebody asked her how it was, and she literally just goes, "It's not Rocky 2, but it's fantastic." And I'm like,
it isn't Rocky 2, but how you can't beat Rocky 2.
well, that's what I'm saying is when you look at like sequels, you got to go the ultimate sequel is Rocky 2 or Godfather 2. But anyway,
Can't beat those.
yeah. So,
But this is
as far as sequels go, in my opinion, that ranks up there with
top 5.
with being. They did it right. They did everything right. There's
Easy top
nothing
5.
wrong with this movie. I would have watched. Some people complain that it's a little long.
No.
I would have watched an extra hour or two. If they just said, "Hey, we're going to keep continuing this," I'm there.
Okay, I'll take that and I'll lay down another 100 and go. I would watch it again from start to finish after watching it.
Yeah, like
Like
if the credits just went over and they were like,
the
"We're
credits
starting
would
over
they
again."
could have said, "Hey, there's a problem, right? We need to show the movie again. Does anyone mind?" And I would have sat through it again.
I 100% would have. It's fantastic. Kudos to Tom Cruise for making this happen. They just did everything right. I did see one of the funny things is somebody brought up, and I don't even think it's a complaint really, but somebody brought up how come the original females in the movie weren't brought back like Kelly McGillis?
That was on purpose.
Kelly McGillis actually in an interview said, she was like, "Oh, I didn't even try because quite frankly, I'm old, I'm fat, I'm out of she was just like, look, that's not what the movie's for." And I was like, that's
Right.
it's the most honest reflection
Yeah, you
of
can't.
how it goes.
Dude, Mav is not gonna here's the thing. Mav's not settling down, A. B, he sure is hell not gonna be with
No, and if you see Kelly McGillis now, come on.
right. And he's not, and they didn't even bring back Meg Ryan.
No, because Meg Ryan's like a Joker face right now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You could have brought back Goose's.
Did you see that they did bring Meg Ryan back in some clips, but not actually
right?
Meg
But
Ryan.
you could have brought back Rooster's mom. You could have.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
There could have been a scene, right, where she calls him or he visits her or something.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a plane. He can go visit her anytime he wants.
Sure. But I mean, Jennifer Connelly pickup, fantastic.
She looks, by the way,
And
young Jennifer Connelly, I wasn't a fan of. New Jennifer Connelly looks great.
I was a fan of any Jennifer Connelly.
Of course.
Like, I'm talking like Labyrinth, Jennifer Connelly.
I wasn't. Career Opportunities, Labyrinth, I wasn't a fan of that Jennifer
The
Connelly.
hot spot, Jennifer Connelly.
This new Jennifer Connelly, like the more svelte
Yes.
with the, lesser upfronts.
By the way, Brian gave me a little nugget before this show that I had no idea, and I'm gonna let him drop it.
There you go, drop it.
I'm gonna let
Drop
him
it
drop
like
it
it's
because
hot.
I was like,
Drop it like it's hot.
what? It was like,
Yeah, so this is something that I read or heard the other day that her character Penny
on the internet, it's right.
Her
Sorry.
character Penny Benjamin is a reference to in the first movie when Goose and Maverick are in the bar before they target Kelly McGillis with the "You've Lost That Loving Feeling" song. They have a conversation about Maverick getting in trouble because he was going after the Admiral's daughter named Penny Benjamin. Well, that's the same Penny Benjamin from the
What?
yeah.
Isn't that
Oh,
awesome?
Cool. That's
What-
awesome. The link is there. I had no
Yeah,
idea they linked it.
I didn't either. A little sub fact.
The Admirals. Okay, I had no idea.
So as heard on the internet,
Who's the
and
Admiral
sub
though in the
facts.
first one?
No one knows. It doesn't
Oh,
say.
okay.
Yeah,
Um,
it should say.
Admiral Benjamin.
Right.
Admiral Benjamin.
Yeah.
I wonder what his call sign was.
Benj
Are we done with Top Gun?
or Hunj. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away other than I think we can agree that we all enjoyed it thoroughly.
Before we're done, what would your call sign be? I think I would still go with
Ooh.
Rhino.
Mine would be call sign fat. Like there'd be like there's
No,
way...
you can't do fat because that's like Bob. It's stupid.
Well,
gotta do
you already
something
picked
cool.
Rhino before. That was
I know.
your-
That's what I'm saying.
First
So
of all,
if
you don't get to pick. The other pilots get to pick yours. So they.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be-
oh, really?
Yeah, so
Is that how it works?
yeah, and so my brother's a pilot in the Navy, and like all the other pilots give you your call sign, and if they give you a call sign that's like something like Maverick or something like that, it means they really don't like you. Normally if they like you, they'll give you something that's like slightly embarrassing. Like my brother's call sign is Cheese, and it's because
Oh, okay.
it's because
I see. So that's why Goose and Rooster and
Yeah, because
Well, yeah, that was because of
they liked him.
Yeah.
And Hangman is not a good one. And that
Well, they did say that he leaves you out to
Hangman
hang.
is a good one, but that's why.
Yeah, they were like he leaves you out to hang. But for me, I'm trying to think. Mine would
All right,
be
so
like,
I got to name you, and you got to name me.
Mine would be like call sign Cheeto or something like that.
No, but I have to name you. You have to name me.
Oh, I'm not naming you Rhino just because.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying I got to name you. So.
You would be call sign Flintstone.
Flintstone.
Yes.
see, that's a good one.
Flintstone.
That's perfect.
Maybe you'd be called
Yes.
Flintstone.
That's perfect.
I would call you Flintstone every time.
I'm going to call you Jingle because you like music.
Jingle.
Those are good call signs. Like those are ones that people would actually use.
Jingle and
My brother got his because
There's your name of the show.
How do you come
Jingle
up
and
with
Flintstone.
Jingle?
my
I don't know, like a Christmas thing?
Dude,
Like,
I'm your wingman. I'm Flintstone. You're Jingle.
yeah. Cover me, Jingle.
my brother got his in flight school because he was making mac and cheese all the time for dinner, and so they started calling him
really?
cheese. Yeah. So
Jingle and Flintstone.
How do you get Jingle? Are you like, am I like a Santa Claus type of thing to you, or like
You like music. That's all.
I know, but it would be like
I could call you Chord, but
Like,
I'm going to call you
it
Jingle.
could be like fretboard or something. But
no,
like,
Jingle sounds better than Chord or
Jingle,
like
note,
verse.
I guess, or like clef.
I like Jingle. Jingle's perfect.
Okay, I'll say
jingle and fretboard. Cover my 6 jingle.
You know what's
He's
funny?
coming behind
In
me,
a
fretboard. Or, I mean, Flintstone.
Like Bible Goose.
yeah, you got to have the one syllable, I guess, or the 2 syllable. But I guess my issue with this is I think my whole life I've wanted a nickname and I've never gotten one other tthan like, using the last name or whatever. But I've never gotten one, and now I finally get one, and it's Jingle.
well,
It's the same thing.
No, I mean,
You would be calling me Jingle if I'm at a bar with you. It'd be like, hey, this is Matt,
if
call sign Jingle.
If we're in the Navy, I'm just saying if we made up nicknames, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, but I think if Maverick and Goose were like out
There's
of the
nothing
Navy,
wrong. Jingle's not a bad. Jingle's good. Actually, that means I have respect for you.
It just reminded me of some like jolly little elf. Like I'm a
Right?
jolly elf, Okay, I'll take Jingle.
I mean, like I could call you Backdoor or Death from Above or something.
I definitely don't want to be backdoor. Okay, I'll stick with Jingle. It'll stick just like everything else. And speaking of that, I'm not gonna call it a PSA because I realized in the last couple of weeks we do a PSA. But here's the thing. So this past weekend was Memorial Day, as everybody should be aware.
Thank you, troops.
So I had a barbecue on Memorial Day, and of course, one of the visitors was like, "Oh, I'm specifically going to bring potato salad and coleslaw, wink, wink, ha ha, because of our rants on it." So I'm like, "No, you'd be wasting your time. The joke isn't worth it."
Yeah, it's not a good joke.
I then go to a birthday party the next day, and of course, I got I was going to have potato salad and coleslaw just in your honor. That's not something we should create. Let's just get it out on the table and go.
I mean, if you do that, it's not because we're not going to eat it.
Yeah,
we're serious about coleslaw and potato salad.
Yeah, like
we don't like it. It's horrible.
Yeah, like how like the Bare Naked Ladies reference Kraft Dinner, and like you go see them live and you throw macaroni and cheese at them.
Yeah,
that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
The potato salad.
Don't throw potato salad at us.
No, like the potato salad and the coleslaw kind of need to go. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Like you could figure out there. I'm sure there's other things we talk about a lot that you could
we don't like.
us.
Yeah, throw mushrooms at us. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever. But I just think it's funny that people are putting our show with potato salad and coleslaw, and I'm just like, it's not necessary. Speaking of not necessary, on the same tone, we were planning for this barbecue, and I'm like, look, just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Burgers, dogs, chips, nothing else. You don't need anything.
Yeah, you
else.
don't. I mean, yeah.
Little
you don't really
thing
need
of
to go
cookies,
past
maybe
that.
some brownies,
burgers, hot dogs, and chips.
You know what the wife did?
And cookies.
The wife was like, "Oh, I got some veggie skewers that we're gonna put on the grill," and I'm like, "Why? How much money did we just waste? Because nobody wants veggie.
Waste
skewers.
of money. No one's gonna eat them.
Yeah.
No one goes, "Can I get a veggie skewer?" No one I've ever met.
And of course, end of the night, there was there was like 2.5 veggie skewers. The half was because she ate half, but out of spite. I like to think. I don't think it was because she
Probably
really wanted
spite.
to. It was just to say, hey, whatever, I did it.
I mean, like we ordered sandwiches today at work, and what were left? Avocado turkey and veggie melts.
Yep, exactly. So no potato salad, no coleslaw, and stay away from the veggies. Words
Just stay
to the
away.
wise.
They're
And
bad news.
I'm
for
glad
everybody. No
you-
one likes them.
I'm glad you mentioned work. And then it got me to thinking. I was driving home, and I got home and I was listening to somebody else's conversation.
Today?
Yeah, on my way here. So it's fresh.
Hold on.
What?
You weren't listening to Atlantis all day today? In light
No,
of
I
her
was
being
saying I meant to say once I got home, but I said
but
I was driving.
all the only music you should be listening to today is Alanis.
Agreed. And I would wholeheartedly 100% agree with you. But I got home and I was listening to some, work stories, for lack of better terms. And it's not even our work.
Oh, other people.
So once again, what I've realized is this world lately, it's pretty angry and aggressive and all this stuff. And people get so annoyed by it and they go, how do we fix it? I'm going to give you one step on how to fix things.
All right. Enlighten me.
If you were remotely in the service industry, which
Yep.
most of us are, like most of us are in a position where we have to report to somebody. Like
I wouldn't call that the service industry is more
not like
retail restaurant.
Quite frankly, I'm realizing it's actually way more industries than I would think. Where obviously somebody has a boss that they have to cater to, whether it's a contract, whether it's a different,
Sure, I guess.
Whatever it is. And this seems to be universal. And it's if a mistake happens, instead of just saying, how do we oh, thank you, you're going to fix the mistake, whatever, sorry, or I caught a mistake. The immediate is, you got to prove to me that this is never going to happen again.
Can't be done. Can't be done. You can never prove it.
What's going to keep this from ever happening again?
Nothing.
And they put in the person is never cool about it. And I was thinking, that's the problem. If everybody in this world just took one step and they just said, you know what? I'm the person who's on the receiving side. And they go, hey, if somebody who works for me makes a mistake, why don't I somewhat let them off the hook? Obviously, if they continue making mistakes, then you got to let them go.
But I always say never. If someone asks me that question, I say I can't. How do we ensure this doesn't happen again? Can't.
Yeah.
Never happen.
Yeah. And it's like
mistakes happen.
Yeah,
they're going to happen always, every day, every minute, every second.
Because I am not aware of a company that has never made a mistake.
Yeah.
Or a person who's never made a mistake.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people, and this is, like I said, it's not just industry specific. I'm sure everybody who's listening can go, oh yeah, I have a situation where I have to report to so-and-so.
Yeah.
And they call me out all the time. If people would stop calling people out, I think our world would be a much happier place.
You could call people out. Just don't use how do we prevent this from ever happening again? Because I'll just go back with you and how do I prevent you from asking me questions I've already answered? How do I do that?
Exactly.
How do I prevent that?
Yeah. I almost want to give tips of making the world a better place.
Just go with it.
And just be, things are going to happen. Things happen all the time.
Just say, hey, this happened.
If I go to a restaurant and they go, hey, I'm sorry, we're backed up. We got kitchen call outs or whatever. I don't yell at them. I never go hey, by the way, how are you going to make sure this doesn't happen again?
By the way, I've been at a restaurant. The waiter spilled a full glass of water down my back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to the manager and go, how do I make sure this never happens again?
It's stupid to even try to do it, but people do. And that's what I don't understand.
I go, hey, she was like, she felt horrified. And I was like, no big deal. It's water.
Yeah.
Got it. We're good.
And another thing that what irritated me, similar lines, is I saw a post on social media where, people were, Uber Eats drivers and the various delivery drivers were working on holidays, Memorial Day, whatever. And this one particular story involved a veteran who was working on Memorial Day and not getting tipped at all. Wasn't getting tips. And I'm like, dude, why are we not tipping? You should be tipping Uber
how is that
Eats
possible? Unless you put no tip in the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no the person's putting like no tip.
Oh,
And I'm like, how do you not tip somebody who's like coming to your house
That's pretty
delivering
bad.
food?
like
Yeah.
I mean
But
that's
that's what I'm saying. People complain about people
if
all
you're
the time.
using DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub, you need to
Yeah.
tip.
You should absolutely.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to tip crazy, but you should tip.
Yeah. I'm saying, I was just thinking
I
about
tip
it.
when I pick up food.
Exactly. And so to make the world a better place, folks, don't be a jerk if a mistake happens,
Yeah,
and tip your people that
Tip.
are doing work
It's
for
easy.
you. If somebody's doing work for you, show
Tip.
gratitude.
Yeah.
That's what it is just gratitude.
not hard.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're really lacking, and I'm just seeing it more and more that we're not showing gratitude towards the people that are actually, making
Making this world
effort.
go round. I get
And
it.
don't
I
get me
get it.
wrong. There's a ton of people that don't give effort and don't deserve it, but don't take it out on everybody.
Yeah.
That's the little tip from Subfacts.
There you go. Tip from
Just
Subfacts.
throwing it out there. Had to get it off my chest.
Tip of the day.
And now
Tip of the day.
Now it's time for a little RIP, which I have been getting called out for because I kind
Who's
of
RIP.
stopped my.
Oh, is it Ray?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I kind of stopped my RIPing on social media because once again, people just I guess they get too used to seeing it, and I become, the Grim Reaper. So
Grim Reaper.
the funny thing is, so I stopped posting it, and then I get called out on social media for not actually.
Right. So they call you out for posting it too much, and then they.
Yeah, you can't win. It's potato
Can't win.
salad. So in this case, want to give a shout out to Ray Liotta, RIP.
That sucked.
I'll be honest with you. Goodfellas is my favorite gangster movie of all time. It's in my top 5 movies
And
of all time.
He makes it.
He makes it. Outside of Goodfellas, the Sopranos thing he did was weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Ray Liotta had some.
What was it? No Entry, I think, was good. But
let's see.
like not a League of Their Own, but Field of Dreams, I think.
He's in Field of Dreams. In Insanity. Is that it?
I
The
don't
one with
know.
John Cusack? No, Identity.
Oh, okay.
That was good.
I'm just saying, Goodfellas for me is the
He's
end
in a
all
movie
be all.
where he plays a cop and he invades the house and he pretends to catch the killer, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's an earlier one, like it's in his earlier days.
he has some good stuff. I mean, he's not.
But he's a dude that I always liked. I'll say this: I've never said, "Oh, he's in the movie. I got to go see it."
Yes,
but I always liked him when I saw it. I was
he's
like,
not
oh, hey,
go out and see it. But if you see him in a movie, you're not going to complain.
He seemed like a guy that I would hang out with.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
polish back a few beers, play some cards.
Yeah, and every time I'd be like, "You're a funny guy," just to kind of do the reverse to him.
Right.
But
he solid career.
Copland, solid.
Oh,
No
Copland,
Escape.
Yeah,
I did like No Escape. That was pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had a solid career.
Yeah, so good for him.
I think his earlier career was much better than his later career. But
yeah, his later
he
was
went downhill
weird.
a little bit.
That's like I said, that Sopranos thing was really weird because he played 2 characters, which was really odd. But that's not his fault. He's just taking the work. So, R.I.P. Ray Liotta. I don't know anything much about him personally, so I can't tell if he was a jerk live or whatever. But he seemed on camera like a good dude. So
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Sure.
Ray. Now it is time for movies of the week.
Movies of the week. Nothing like last week, but we'll
okay,
through.
so the next movie, the movie that I'm going to talk about doesn't actually come out for, I think it comes out this summer at some point. But at the Cannes Film Festival, this movie had people walking out within the first 10 minutes because it's so you ever see the only time I saw people walk out of a movie was the movie The Fly, in 86, where it was all gross. So this movie,
I only walked out of Get Shorty. That was awful.
No, they're walking out because they're
when I walked out of Trainwreck too.
They're walking out because they're gonna vomit, which I'm instantly going, yes,
then I might want to see it.
So this movie stars Kristen Stewart, but it's called Crimes of the Future. And this is crazy.
Oh, I heard about this.
So she plays the doctors that do plastic surgeon.
Okay.
So she plays a plastic surgeon. And so basically there's some kind of like sexual chemistry or sexual vibe going on by performing like your own surgery. And so she basically like it shows I guess the movie opens up really with like an autopsy of like a little kid and a dude or something.
Ah,
And apparently within the first 10 minutes, people are like, I'm going to throw up. I have to leave. It's apparently uber gory.
nice.
And I'm like, and I'm not going to lie. I was reading it. I'm like, why would they leave?
You can't
'Cause-
release that in the theater, though, can you?
Oh, they are. Well, I'm
Something that gory?
it's pretty crazy.
I'm
But
seeing it.
don't think I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
know,
I'm seeing it.
But I'm like, dude, that's up our alley, you know?
Absolutely,
And
100%.
So yeah, like,
If it's in the theater, I'll be first day.
yeah, like I don't hate Kristen Stewart. I'm okay with
Yeah,
her.
I'm okay.
Some people
she's
hate her.
average.
I
She's never done it for me, but she's a good actress.
I do like that movie where she's underwater. That
Oh, yeah.
love
It's
that
called
movie.
Underwater, yeah.
Underwater, yeah. I've seen that movie. I own it. I've seen the movie so many times. I love it every time.
Oh,
So I do like Kristen Stewart. But Crimes of the Future, I'm excited. I'm looking out for it.
Crimes of the Future.
because
Okay.
I like it better pay off. That's what
There's
I'm
someone
saying.
else popular in that too.
I didn't know if there is. I didn't see that, but
Surprised
like,
you didn't mention Pinocchio as part of movies.
no. There's no other movie to watch at this point. Go see
Yeah,
Top
Viggo
Gun.
Mortensen.
Oh yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
Pimp.
I like
Viggo's a
Viggo
pimp.
too. So here's the thing: the reason why I put this movie out that doesn't come out for a while, because reality, there is no other movie coming out except for Top Gun. Go see Top Gun. Go
Yeah,
see
there's
it
no
again.
reason to see anything else.
No, I know the Jurassic World is coming out. It looks good, but it's not Top Gun. It's not Top Gun.
I don't know. I've never really I've always been disappointed with Jurassic.
You do hate the Jurassics.
I don't hate them. Like the Transformers movies, I hate.
Yeah.
The Jurassics, the last two are better with Chris.
Chris, what's his name? I want to say Chris Pine, but it's not. It's the other. It's the dude from Parks and Rec.
Yes, Andy Dwyer. I mean,
Chris Pratt. Thank you.
I always call him Andy Dwyer.
But you know what's stupid? If you see the new preview for the new Jurassic World, so I guess the one dinosaur has a baby, and the daughter's so stupid. She just goes, "You look just like your mother." No, you don't, you dummy. It's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Stupid. You can't tell a dinosaur's parents.
Maybe they can. Who knows? If you're a dinosaur lover, maybe you do.
No chance you can.
How do you know?
No, you just
Have you
can't.
ever met a dinosaur?
They all look alike.
They all look alike. So a brontosaurus looks like a T-Rex.
No, if in the same family. Like
In the
if,
same
I'm not
family,
gonna
I'll
lie,
give you that.
if you put like a Dalmatian in front of me and like two Dalmatians, I couldn't tell
you
you.
need to say, oh, that's your mother or your father. Yeah,
No
right. They all look
chance.
the same.
They all look the same.
I'm with you there.
There's no way the dinosaurs look the same.
I'll buy that.
I just think it's stupid, and that's what lost me. I was on the preview. I'm like, oh, good, you're gonna bring back some old Jurassic people, and then I'm like, this scene, I'm like,
Yeah, they do.
I'm
You know
tapped
what?
out.
And I'll see it because they bring back the oldies.
I just don't want to have a dinosaur that's like, the ending
And
already.
I love Goldblum.
We already know the ending is the dinosaur who they know who has a kid is going to save them from the dinosaurs that they don't know.
Yeah.
Stupid.
The ending's already written.
Go see Top
Already
Gun
written.
again. That's all I'm saying.
I'd see Top Gun 3 times before I see Jurassic.
Yeah. It's going to be dumb. And that Elvis movie that's coming out.
Ooh, I'm not
Okay, here's
100% against it.
I don't like Baz Luhrmann films to begin with, but then
All right.
So then the other problem is the guy.
What else has he done? I forget, but I mean,
Moulin Rouge and stuff like that.
Oh,
No.
you know what? Mulan wasn't that good.
It's too over the top, whatever. And then you got like the guy who's playing Elvis seems like a cool dude. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is Tom Hanks playing Colonel Tom Parker. That accent is awful.
Yeah, he got chastised for that accent.
It's terrible already.
Yeah,
And think about it this way.
he got lit up.
What are you going to learn in an Elvis movie that you haven't seen 50 million other times?
Yeah, I mean,
come on. We all know the story. We know Elvis' story.
they're not going to tell you anything ground shattering or earth.
No.
Groundbreaking, earth shattering.
No.
Nothing that'll blow your head off.
Yeah. And it's somebody else's spin on Elvis.
Right, like a poor kid who hit it big, turned to drugs.
Well,
ruined his
reality is,
career.
I think in a weird way, they're going to try to turn him into like a social justice warrior when it wasn't.
Oh no.
Because
Don't do that.
because reality is he stole, black
Back to
music.
reality.
He stole black music, and as a white guy got away with it. And so I think in the movie, from what
What do you
I've
mean he
seen,
stole black music?
well, basically he said, "Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to
got
do it."
And he performed it.
Yeah. And it's the same thing that people can argue with Eminem and all the other shit.
Sure.
So yes, he got shine because for everybody else it was, oh, this is brand new. Meanwhile, he stole it. But the thing is, I think this movie is going to try to turn him into this like social justice warrior that I don't think he necessarily was. But hey,
they always try to make people way better than they were.
Anyway, I'm going to go big thumbs down on that before it even comes out.
I might see it.
Like I said, Baz Luhrmann annoys me. His movies just annoy me. So.
I might see it. If the woman wants to see it, I'll see it.
There you go. You let me know how it is, and if you come back and say it's fantastic, then I'll.
Okay, I'm not going to say it's fantastic.
I'm just saying that's the barometer at this point.
I could say it's good for you to watch.
Okay.
Lazy Saturday.
Like I've seen so many Elvis documentaries and stuff. I feel like there's nothing I'm going to get out of it, not one bit. And so, anyway,
all right,
that's the movie. That's
fair enough.
That's the
Fair
movie
enough.
segment. You know what? What it's time for?
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for
I'm gonna close my
Mooney's
eyes.
Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
I didn't want to interrupt her, but I love the dugout. There's
I
no
know.
T.
I'm gonna close my eye. Like that's like perfect.
If I close my eyes forever.
Are they coming here? Firehouse?
That's not Firehouse.
No, it's not. Oh, sorry.
No, that was Lita Ford and Ozzy.
Lita Ford. Nice.
Boom.
All right. So I have a few things this week. I'm going to start off with oldest sports franchises.
Ooh, and so all the major sports.
Major sports.
I don't need to know cricket.
Right. No.
Okay.
I am going to mention the oldest team in the world at the end.
Okay.
Just one.
Okay.
But I'm going to go through the oldest teams in the four major sports.
Should I guess them before, like, pick a major sport and I'll guess?
Okay. Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball, it's going to be the big cities. So I think it was invented in closer to New York. So I'm going to go isn't it the Brooklyn Dodgers or the Dodgers?
No.
Not even close.
Well, almost.
Am I in the right city?
They are one of the top 6.
Okay.
In the right city.
Okay.
So 1870 Chicago White Stockings.
Whoa.
Now the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know it because I thought baseball was invented in New York, though, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where it was invented, but
okay.
The first Major League Baseball team, Chicago White Stockings, now the Chicago Cubs.
Boom.
1901 Red Sox and Detroit Tigers.
What was with the Sox? They love the Sox.
They do. So what's interesting about the Cubs and the Red Sox, though, both still play in their original stadiums.
Awesome.
Those stadiums are 150 years old in the Cubs case.
As they should. You can't compete with Wrigley. Like if you think about it,
you can't compete with Fenway.
If they tore Wrigley down and put another stadium up, it could have the greatest technology of all, but it's not going to be the same.
No. So agreed. So then you followed by 1901, the 1882. Oh, sorry. The second and third teams were 1882, the Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. 1901, the Red Sox and the Tigers. 1903 was the Yankees.
I wasn't even close. If you think about like, how did New York?
You said New York.
Yeah, but how did New York not even get a team until 20 years later?
33 years later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that wasn't even close.
Yeah. And then 1882, sorry, I missed that one too.
By the way,
the Pirates.
Back then, that was a whole generation of people, 33 years.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is somebody was like, man, I wish there was a team in New York. Not my lifetime.
A generation later.
But I mean, they may have had a baseball team, but I think it's the longest surviving. It's the oldest. So it may have been a team that didn't survive.
Well, no, but if you think about it, based on his list, if the Chicago Cubs,
no, he's right. If it's a surviving team,
Yeah, but like the Brooklyn Dodgers.
It's no.
went on-
It's he's right. It's not going to say a team that was since defunct.
Okay, but would the Dodgers still count because they started in Brooklyn?
Yes,
but
they
went
would
to
count.
California.
The Dodgers would be on this list if
Okay.
they counted.
Okay, fair enough.
But you are right. So both of you are right.
Mhm.
The next is NFL.
Okay.
This one. You should get this one.
I should get this one. Okay. NFL was created. I mean, I think everything's created in New York, but it's not. I don't think it is. Is it? It's Ohio, right? Is I'm gonna say. Oh, you're gonna see New York, right? It's the Giants.
Chicago.
Why is everything in Chicago?
I know. That's why I just thought you would get it
The
again.
Bears are the
Yep,
oldest.
1921, the Chicago Bears.
Oh my gosh.
1925.
Why are they in Canton, Ohio?
What do you mean?
No, baseball's Canton. What's NFL? Like the
Coopers.
Yeah, Cooperstown is
Cooperstown
baseball.
is baseball.
Canton is football.
Yeah,
Why is it in Ohio? Which
I
should
don't
be in
know.
Chicago.
should be in Chicago.
Like in theory, Chicago should be the
They're not
Mecca.
even Ohio doesn't even have one of the top three.
So
So
Chicago.
1929 Bears,
Mhm.
25 New York Giants, and then 1937 the Washington.
No, it's
Redskins.
Boston. They were the Boston Braves first.
But you were this says Washington Redskins, so it may have been the Braves.
They were originally the Boston Braves. So, but that was only for like a year.
So it makes
And then-
sense because Boston's always one of the first.
Yeah. Okay, so that explains Chicago having awful uniforms. Like, I don't know why.
They're one of them. Yeah.
They should update the Chicago uniform. I hate.
Well,
the
they
way
had
that,
they had the orange and blue like stripes like the
Yeah,
Steelers did.
but I don't think that's real though. Is that real? Like,
No, I'm pretty sure it's real.
because I know they were
Because none
trying
of
to
them
get
really
retro.
had symbols.
I
until
hate
later.
how their numbers go because there's no border in between the fabric and then the number,
Oh,
so it just
got
looks cheap. It looks old, dumb.
All right, NBA. You got to get this one.
NBA would be the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Boom.
Good job. And in the same year, the New York Knicks. So those are the first two basketball franchises. Care to guess how many titles the Celtics have?
16.
17.
I thought it was 16.
17.
I thought they were working on their 17.
No, they're working on 18.
Oh,
they have
boom.
17.
Solid.
And they're going to win. They're going to win 18. They're going to beat
You
Golden
were
State.
right, sir. I was really doubting you.
Your brother's
with
got to be
Miami.
mad at me.
He probably is, but I'm thankful you were right.
I told you. I would have won, by the way, and I would have won $100 on that game had the last 3-pointer for Miami went in, and Boston still would have won the game.
Yeah.
But I had a over of 190. It was 196 and a half. I had the over. It ended at 196.
Yep.
Awful.
But it's fixed. But I'll take it. I'll take the fix.
Now the NHL.
So the NHL, they had the original. I'm going to say the Canadians.
Right.
The Habs.
1909, the
Yeah.
Canadians.
Boom.
And then 1924.
The either Chicago Blackhawks or the New York Rangers. Well, they all came in at the same time. The first 8,
Yeah, they came in around the
Originally-
same time.
because you can't play with yourself. You know, like the.
But that's what I was
I guess
wondering
you
about. How do
can.
you, I mean, yeah,
You
because all these
can.
teams.
But that's what I'm saying. The original teams.
The
that came
second
in-
team was the Boston Bruins.
Oh, good to know.
All right, now quickly, I will. So this is quick. The oldest team in the world, 1857, the Sheffield Football Club, still around.
Wow. You know what's funny is I figured it was a soccer team, and I was gonna go Man U.
Yeah, I mean that's close. But what I'm
But-
saying, they're the only non-college, local, affiliated with
I
something
couldn't
else.
tell you what Sheffield like.
Me either.
As much as I hate soccer, but I know what Man U looks like. I know what the big ones that people talk about. What is Sheffield? Oh, so Brian's pulling it up.
So what was the date on that?
Wanderers?
What'd you say?
Cray
Google says the
Wanderers?
oldest professional sports team in the world is the Cray Wanderers FC, which was founded in 1860.
This is
Ooh.
1857 Sheffield Football Club.
Oh, are we going to argue against Mooney's dugout? Is that what I'm hearing?
There's Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, and that was 1867.
Well, that's what he said, right?
Says 57. The one I think I showed.
Oh.
So maybe, I don't know. They're disputing years because the one I said 57.
Yeah, I see this one says. Yeah, it looks like there's some disputed years.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not watching anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Disputes. Okay. Speaking of disputes, the next story in Mooney's dugout, the Jock Pederson slap heard around the world.
No, it wasn't, because no one knows who Jock Pederson is.
He's a outfielder for the Giants.
Oh yeah, that Jock Pederson.
How do you, if you're a baseball fan, you
no
know who
one
Jock
knows
Pederson
who
is.
Jock Pederson is.
How do you not know who Jock Pederson is?
Brian, did you know who Jock Pederson
I never
was?
heard of him before today.
It can't be heard around the world if no one knows who he is.
Okay, so
Like,
if he's a pretty popular baseball player.
like, he has a baseball card that we might see.
He was a big hit with the Dodgers. Then he went to the Padres, and then when with the Padres, like, he didn't play as well, so then he went to the Giants.
By the way,
next.
if your name is Jock, you have to be an athlete.
So I agree.
Unless
So
you
he
become
gets-
Jock Strap for the rest of your life.
So they're in the outfield, and him and Tommy Pham are getting into it. Now, no one knows who Tommy Pham is.
And Jock Pederson.
So Tommy Pham and him are getting into it, and Tommy Pham slaps him.
Oh,
Like Will Smith smacks him right across the face.
so we're watching the video. At least Brian's trying to get the
Yeah,
video.
so he basically flat out man slaps him.
What is with man slapping?
I don't know. We'll get into it in a second.
Should men really be slapping?
But he slapped him over a dispute on fantasy football over how Jock Pederson used the IR.
What?
Yeah. So
Is
like
that slap-worthy?
ESPN allows you to place certain players that are not playing that week or maybe hurt or inactive on IR.
Okay.
But certain leagues, in your league, they can tell you you're not supposed to use that feature.
Okay.
Even though it's allowed, the league should say, no, you're not allowed to use it. So Pederson used it. Pham got all pissed off, and they dispute. They went back and forth. They said some things. And next time he saw him, man slapped him.
So they're both in the same fantasy football
Yes.
or fantasy baseball. They're both in
Absolutely.
the same, like,
And the league is run by Mike Trout, who you should know.
I've heard his name before.
He's the top paid baseball player, and he's the best baseball player in the league.
Nope, wouldn't have known that.
Okay. So
I've heard his name before. So they're friends. So they're friends off the field,
not really. In other words, it's like
like a work pool, I guess. Or...
No, like sort of like, hey, Pham is friends with Trout. Peter's friends with Trout. They're both in a fantasy football league.
Yeah. I don't mind him hitting the guy. I have no issues with that. Like, that's go into hockey. I can't, being a hockey fan,
But over fantasy football,
I can't argue that piece. Like, if you get heated and you go back and forth, you, my friend, get heated over fantasy football and stuff, but you're never going to hit.
I'm not going to hit somebody. And plus, it's like, it's already way later. This happened last week.
By the way,
this just didn't happen.
I would hope that if you were going to hit somebody, you're not going to slap the guy. You're going to punch him. Like,
I would never punch anyone over fantasy football.
I know that, but
unless he said something about my family.
And maybe that's what happened. We don't know. Words were said, but
I don't think he said.
But you're not going to go in with a slap. Do you ever go in with a slap?
No one goes in with a slap except Will Smith
and Pham, apparently.
And Pham.
Did the guy hit back? Like,
he just totally walked away.
He just took it.
Yeah. But he knew because Pham got like a 3-game suspension. Pederson didn't get any.
Oh, I'm just saying, from a hockey perspective, you're not slapping.
No, I mean,
you're not going to slap a hockey player and get away with it.
So, maybe I'll save one of the stories for next week because it's timeless. But I wanted to talk about the Tom Brady rookie card, which is one of one that a person apparently sold for like $300,000. But it was one of one. But guess what? There's two of them. So he gets this rookie card that's supposedly one of one,
Who
meaning
makes a one of one?
some card places do, Tops, whatever. They make one of one. And if you get that card, you're the only person who should have that card.
Yeah. Oh, so is it one of those situations where they have the rendering, like the original rendering versus the one that got released? You know what I mean? Like it could be that.
Right. So it's a little bit like that. So it's a one of one, and there's another person who owns the same one of one.
Yeah.
So what happens is they will make a run of 10 or 11 one of one cards. And they're only supposed to release one.
Yeah.
So let's say the sheet is 9 cards. So maybe it's 9, right? They'll make them 9 cards. They're only supposed to put one in one pack, and that's it.
And that's it.
But someone must have put another card or whatever.
Or they stole it. Like if they worked at Tops and they were like, oh, they won't see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. So he sells it for $300,000.
If anything, I don't think it devalues it as much. Normally, you would think instantly you're devaluing it, but even the fact that there's 2 and the story that goes with it is actually, if anything, it probably keeps the value, if not raises it.
So there's an interesting card, and I don't know. It's a hoops card, Fleer hoops card, and it's a nobody player, right? But it's worth
Jock Pederson.
It's worth a few $100,000, and the reason is in the background, Michael Jordan is wearing a non-23 jersey before he switched to 45 later on in his career. Somehow, like his jersey got messed up before the game, and he had to come out wearing a different jersey. Yeah. So Michael Jordan's pictured wearing a jersey that's not 23 in the actual basketball card. By the way, so the card is worth a lot.
That's crazy. You just reminded me of something. I wasn't going to bring it up, but when we were going back to talking about Top Gun, I've heard on the radio.
By the way, that's the end of the deck. That's we can go on.
Okay, I've heard on the radio a few times now, not just like one specific show, but like interns or like assistant producers of the radio shows I listen to. They never saw the original Top Gun because they're younger, and they watched it for the first time, and then like 24 hours later went to go see the movie. And I'm like, once again, I'm like, okay, well, that's weird because we don't think about it. We just assume everybody's seen Top Gun.
Yeah.
The radio host was talking about that, going, that's really weird because we just naturally assume that. And they go, the saddest thing is they've met various people that didn't know who Michael Jordan was other than being the crying guy in the meme.
What?
So there's people who don't know that Michael Jordan, what he did for basketball, they just know of him as the crying guy in the meme. So like,
huh?
Yeah.
How do you not know who Michael Jordan is?
So there's potentially like
that's insane.
18 or 21 because he hasn't played in how many years?
Oh man.
But they just know him as the meme guy.
30 years?
20, it's 25, I would assume, 25 years. So if you're 18
years.
If you're 18 years old, you may only know of him as the
No, it's 20 years because he played in 2001. So it's 20 years. Okay. I think he played in 2001. Am I right? When did he retire, Ryan? Because I know he played in like the 95-ish.
But how crazy?
He played it. Well, he had a last championship in 96. And then I think he played one more year. Or no, he retired in 96. And then he came back when he bought the Wizards or had a minority share in the Wizards.
He came back in 95. Yeah,
he won a championship in 96. He left for baseball in like 93 or something.
2002 was his last year.
2002. But yeah, so can you imagine, like, we look at him, living legend, all of that stuff, and there's kids today that are in let's say 18, that just know of him as the
they know basketball.
He's the
boy should know who Michael Jordan is.
I would love to think that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think
if he's watching the Celtics, he should know who he is.
I don't think my son could pull him out of the lineup. I'll be honest with you. I really don't think he could. But he's seen the crying meme. I know for a fact he's seen the crying meme.
And they all know what Jordan's shoes are.
Of course.
We do know that. We all know that. But I'm saying, if you've never seen him play.
Isn't that amazing?
It's weird. It's just a
Jordan
weird.
shoes are still around 20 years later.
Oh, I know.
And they
right?
still release one every year, right?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. But
And they're still $200 or $300 a pop or more.
I don't know. I haven't looked for them in a
I
while.
never owned a pair of Jordans. Fun fact.
I'm trying to think. I did. It was like third or fourth variation. It wasn't the good ones. It wasn't the one.
Yeah,
that,
I never
like,
owned a pair.
No, it definitely wasn't the red, white, and
I never had a
black.
like it. Well, I mean, I was a Knicks fan, so I'm not going to buy Jordans.
I had a pair that was like all black, and it had the little Jordan thingy on it. But they, trust me, they weren't the good ones that everybody's like.
I did have a
after.
pair of the pumps at one time.
Never had the pumps. I wanted the pumps. I was jealous of this kid who sat in front of me in English class, and all he did all day long was pump. And I'm like, and he was doing it clearly just to rub it into everybody else who didn't have pumps.
I didn't have the I had like LB pumps. Like I didn't have the
because he had the straight up Reebok pumps when they came out.
No, I think I had like a layer, like a watered out, like the Oxford pumps or
nothing fun.
RC Cola pumps.
Yeah, I didn't have anything good like that. Okay, so I guess time for Matt's backstage pass.
There we go.
I am
Matt's
for the record.
Pass.
I'm working on getting music because I need music for backstage pass.
You absolutely do.
I talked to Andy over the weekend, and he's so busy with Creative Underground, which is a great thing. I'd much rather have him more busy than catering to our needs. So I'm happy to take a backseat pass to getting my music, but we are going to get some music. I gave him some great ideas for what I'm looking for. And once again, I'm sure he's going to knock it out of the park, just like he always does. So once again, creativeunderground.co, not .com. And so little plug for Andy early. New album of the week that's coming out. I say this jokingly, but there may be people out there that really will go out and buy it. So I'm just bringing it up. And it's actually getting good reviews. Is Gwar is putting out an album. Gwar has an album coming out called The New Dark Ages.
Wow.
Which is
Gwar.
Which is funny because the longtime lead singer died quite a few years ago. And Blothar has taken over as like lead vocals. And I'm not going to lie, his vocals aren't bad. I listened to some clips of the new album. And, if you're into that kind of thing, I know you're not. I know you're not going to go run out and get the new Gwar album. But if they come live, like they come to town, I'm taking you. You and I are going to go to a Gwar show because you would love it. Like you wouldn't like the
His name is what?
Blothar.
No wonder that's so. The guy I told you that.
Well, he's got a real name, but I mean, Blothar is the Gwar name.
No, what I was saying is you know how there was that guy who nicknamed my Smorgy, whatever.
Yeah.
Nick gave him his nickname.
Yeah.
Well, that same guy called me Lothar.
Oh, well, Lothar of the Hill People, probably from.
Okay. I didn't know
if he called
Saturday
me Night Live bit back
Lothar as is short for Blothar because he was a big Gwar fan.
Well, Blothar is actually a heavier set dude, so maybe.
He did. I think he did it for that.
Yeah,
because he was a big Gwar fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Gwar. So I heard, like I said, the clips I heard, it sounded good. For me, I like it. You're not ever going to want to listen to it. It's not your cup of tea. But if they come live, it's a fun show. You should definitely see Gwar live.
I do want to see Kicks when they come back.
Oh, we're definitely going to that. But I mean, like, if Gwar comes to the Tally Ho, don't think we're not going. Okay. And so I saw Gwar at a small club like years ago, and it was fun. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know any of their songs, but it's a fun show. It's they throw blood all over the crowd and stuff. It's good stuff.
They throw blood on the crowd?
People get eaten with like a meat grinder and all kinds of stuff. It's a fun. It's very campy. Don't get me wrong, but it's fun.
Oh, okay.
And so you'd have a good time. So for the Gwar fans out there, there you go.
There you go.
The New Dark Ages. Get it on Friday. The other thing that I want to mention is it was announced yesterday, I believe, that Snoop Dogg has a new supergroup project going on.
Snoop Dogg.
The band is called Mount Westmore.
Mount West. Okay.
So basically, it's Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Too Short, who you probably don't know.
Zero clue.
But Too Short is a West Coast legend. Like,
Okay.
he basically is probably the reason why West Coast hip hop even exists.
Too short.
Too short. And then E40, I believe. So anyway, that's why he's calling it Mount Westmore, because it's like the
Mount
West.
Rushmore.
It's the West hip hop legends. So they released a clip of a new song, but the real song comes out tomorrow, I believe.
Okay.
So if you're into Snoop Dogg and you're into the West Coast rap,
Gotta
look
check it
out
out.
for Mount Westmore.
Mount Westmore.
Snoop Dogg.
Dogg.
And once again, if you ever get a chance to see Snoop
Dogg.
live, you're gonna have a good time.
I'm sure I would, but I don't know that many Snoop hits.
The funny, every time you see Snoop, like, he literally does the same medley of all the same songs. Like, you would know the songs if you heard
I
them,
probably know a few of them.
but it's a fun time. Snoop's always a good time. So one thing that I thought was pretty interesting that came out this week is Heart, Ann and Nancy Wilson.
Of course.
Okay. I've seen Heart probably 3 times live. Awesome. The last time I saw him, Ann's voice wasn't that strong, but it's still pretty great. You can't argue. But Ann and Nancy have had a falling out over the past couple of years. They've been either back together or not back together. And it's
Why is that?
It's family things. So like their husbands don't like each other, and it's that kind of
right.
They each have Yoko Onos, for lack of better terms. So it came out that like Nancy Wilson's Heart is coming out on tour, is doing a tour. And Nancy Wilson, for the most part, is the guitar player. She does sing like, 1 or 2 songs, but for the most part, she's not a singer. So they're like, well, who's going to be your singer if Ann's not going to be there? And she said, Axl Rose.
What? How does Axl Rose sing a woman's part?
Well, that's the craziest thing. So Axl Rose can't sing Guns N' Roses songs right now.
How is he going to sing Heart?
There's no way. Didn't
he fail at AC/DC or whatever?
He actually got good reviews doing AC/DC.
Okay,
he really did. And I think that helped him with the Guns N' Roses comeback. Axl is very hit and miss at this point. I have seen videos where he sounds great doing Guns N' Roses, but I've also heard some big time flops. So, and that's fine. He's in his wheelhouse. But he can't do Heart. Because for starters,
it's a female voice.
Well, the songs are written from a female lens.
Yeah.
So is he going to sing Magic Man? You know what I mean? Like, I don't is he going to be singing alone? Stuff like that. I don't know how Axl Rose would even remotely be like.
Yeah. How are you going to? And by the way, you shouldn't do that. I mean, I understand getting a new, I guess, a lead singer, but I mean, if there's only 2 of you, how do you? Or
she should have easily gone to YouTube. She should have done the whole let's find an Ann Wilson sound alike.
Sure,
it's gonna epically fail.
That's a bad decision.
Terrible decision. And I like Nancy Wilson. I think she's the better of Heart, in my opinion.
The better of the Wilsons.
But the weird thing too is they created the band because they wanted to be a female Led Zeppelin. They wanted the Led Zeppelin sound.
Right.
They've created the Led Zeppelin sound.
And they did a good job.
Axl Rose is not Led Zeppelin.
No.
He never
he's
was.
Not. He's a rock guy.
No, but he came from like Elton John is his influence. Like, he didn't come from a Led Zeppelin type
Elton John is
he's
Axl
actually
Rose's
he's a huge Elton John fan.
Doesn't sound like it, but
well, but like the piano and stuff in November Rain and all that kind of stuff. He like a huge Elton John fan. But I don't recall Led Zeppelin being his, wheelhouse. It'll be interesting to see, but it's not going to be good.
It won't last.
It
won't work.
I just think it's weird.
Bad move, Nancy.
So this other thing, I'm not going to call any family members out on this one. Wink, wink. But I saw an article, but I was also listening to a show, and they were talking about the phenomenon known as butt rock.
I'm done.
And
I'm leaving.
You know how there's yacht rock?
No, I just go ahead. I'm leaving.
Okay, so there's yacht rock and the various different things. So there's a phenomenon called butt rock, and they're classifying it as like bands from like the late 90s to like 2010.
Okay.
And we're talking let's just say Eddie Vedder is like the godfather of butt rock. Because then you've got like Creed and Nickelback.
Eddie Vedder is 93, 94.
That's one thing. He's the godfather because he's the one that kind of unfortunately started the whole thing. And I'm not gonna lie, it's all bands I love. I'm gonna throw it out there. Like Creed, Nickelback, Hinder, Stained, all of these bands are now considered.
Can you name a good band? All those bands suck.
They're now Buck
Creed,
Cherry.
Stained,
They're all
Nickelback.
they're literally calling it butt rock, and I'm like,
oh my god,
is that like I don't even know how to think of it. Like I find it funny. Like if I was one of those bands, I would almost embrace it. I was
why don't you
thinking
just call
about,
it crap rock?
I don't know how they came up with butt rock.
Butt rock,
but
dumb.
like I love it because I can now go look, Siri, play butt rock or something like that.
I don't think that's gonna happen
because you can do it with yacht rock, and so I'm like,
what's yacht rock?
So yacht rock is like, I'm actually going to see yacht rock on Friday. I'm going to see Air Supply. Woohoo! Air Supply's greatest hits is fantastic.
Wow.
I'm all out of love. All that by the way, Air Supply, I've recently YouTubed like clips. They look like they shouldn't even be alive,
and yet they're singing.
But they sound great.
Do they sound great?
They do. I'm not gonna lie. The dude who hits all the notes still hits all the notes, but he's like,
don't they both hit the notes?
Well, they do, but the one guy, the guitar player dude, he's always done like the mellow stuff, so he doesn't really have to go really high. But like the other dude who hits everything, that guy still sounds great. Looks like the Crypt Keeper. Like they all look like they shouldn't be alive.
What are they, 70s?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, 70s and 80s. They had their heyday. Like I remember just growing up to Air Supply's greatest hits, but it's soft rock. You know what I mean? Like that's essentially yacht rock. Is ACD is not ACDC, but Air Supply.
Air Supply.
Kenny Loggins is yacht rock.
Oh my God, they do look like Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, don't they? They look like painfully old, but they still sound good.
All right.
So. But like you would love most yacht rock. And the thing is with the butt rock, back to the butt rock people, is right now they might take offense to it. But look at like yacht rock. If in the 80s you called it soft rock, yacht rock, they'd be embarrassed. But there's a lot of people nowadays that are going, hey, this is because
yacht rock's not
you
bad.
Goof on it at first, but then you catch yourself listening to it and you know every word. There's a reason why you know every word.
I think they could have done a better name than butt rock, but I mean, I don't like those bands anyway. All those bands you mentioned, I hate.
I pretty much loved everybody that was butt rock, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm a big butt rock fan. Like that's my thing.
That's when music started going way downhill for me.
I'm not gonna lie, I can totally picture BK and I driving down the street jamming to butt rock like all day long. Like I would do it. It would be great.
Yeah, like early 2000. That's when I was like, oh my God, these bands are awful.
But like Hoobastank and
awful,
and all like. I have playlists of nothing but butt rock now that I think about it. It's awesome. So big fan of butt rock. With that being said, I think it's time for the TV section. TV section. Really excited about the TV section this week.
Wait a minute. How do you have 3 sections and I have 1 section?
You just got your section, sir. Are you now trying to get another? Is that what I'm
You
hearing?
have 3 sections. I never even realized.
Well, you never had a section until like a month ago.
So it was 3-0. Now it's 3-1.
As we know, you normally just roll in and I have everything planned. It's always been my sections. It's just that because you now have a section, we have to now.
So we got to label everything a section.
We quantify our sections, but I don't have any music coming up for the TV section yet. So we'll figure that out. But the one thing I'm really excited about, and this is how excited I am, I binged the whole thing in one day. It's the show.
God, I'll just let you roll because I cannot believe you're going to make this.
100%. Danny Boyle's Pistol, which is based on the Sex Pistols, came out on Hulu yesterday.
Yay! I can't wait to go watch.
It's fantastic.
No,
it is. No, good. Yes, I will say this: if you remotely like the Sex Pistols,
which is music, 5 people,
no, they're legends.
Legends.
I will say, like I said, if it's
legends,
no, but there's people that either love it or hate it, right? You're going to be the guy who hates it. You won't appreciate the show at all, and I'm not going to tell you to go see it.
No chance.
But
I watch
for our listeners, and actually, I was talking to Brian ahead of time. Brian likes them just as much as I do, pretty much. So I think he will love it. So this review will really be for Brian. I will say this. As I'm a casual Sex Pistols fan, like I know their music. I have I have their music. And I've known the story, Sid Vicious, Nancy, John, like all the members. I know all of that. So, but I still learned stuff through this, and it was based off of Steve Jones's autobiography. He's the guitar player, so it was more Steve Jones.
You're looking
heavy.
at me like I know anything you're
I'm
saying.
just trying to teach you a little bit. But it's fantastic. The guy who plays Johnny Rotten
That's
is
a strong
awesome.
word. Strong word.
Oh, it's great. I'm telling you, I like the only way you're not going to like it is if you just don't like punk music. That's the only way you're not going to like it. The little highlight I would say is what I didn't know was I personally did not know how much influence Chrissy Hynde from the Pretenders had.
Oh my God, huge.
Major, believe it or not, she actually had a lot of influence. I didn't understand how she played into the whole thing. So that was new for me. The girl who plays Chrissy Hynde in the show is Kyle Chandler's daughter. I love Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler played Coach in Friday Night Lights. He was also in the recent Uber show.
Yeah.
I love Kyle Chandler.
He's a pimp.
His daughter's attractive.
Yes, she is. Based on what you showed me,
there
yes.
might be a naked alert.
Oh, nice. I won't watch it though.
A few times.
I can YouTube that, I'm sure.
Yeah. And so they keep saying like the big thing is Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones is topless in a weird sort of way. And that's like the big buzz. But no, the girl who plays Chrissy Hynde, Kyle Chandler's daughter, much better looking in my opinion. But anyway, so if you don't like the music, at least watch it for that.
I will not watch it at all.
But Brian, you're going to love it. So that's called Pistol. It's on YouTube. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, check it out if you want to be bored out of your mind.
Check it out. Awesome music, great stuff. What's not as awesome? Stranger Things season 4 came out this past weekend. I'm only one episode in, and I'm already done. I'm just like,
done.
Yeah, I'm done.
You made it through the first 3 seasons, though.
Made it through the first seasons, and even in the last season, I kind of trucked through. I'm going to truck through this one, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm done. I'm annoyed.
I think it's lost its flavor.
Yeah, like in the very first season, you're like, dude, yeah, this kid gets kidnapped, he goes underworld, all that kind of crap. I get it. That's cool.
I think it's a little better than Bazooka Gum, but it lost its flavor.
Yeah, but I think the problem is they made celebrities out of all of these kids, and so now you have to have a special storyline for each one of them.
Which
I don't care about
ridiculous.
You just don't care about them that much. I did see something that really bothered me. Is Netflix judges their shows based on like minutes watched. So with that in mind, Stranger Things 4, like each episode is like much longer than they ever were before.
Right.
And they're trying to get that rating or that like
the minutes up.
Right. So they're basically placating to Netflix. So let's throw in a few crap storylines that don't mean anything.
Yeah, and then you get the minutes up and then you get more people.
Which means I have to truck through boring.
Well, don't watch it.
I'm gonna watch it because it's pop culture and
you just said you're out. Why would you watch it?
I'm saying it's boring at this point, but
so get out. Stop watching.
I can't not watch Stranger Things 4 because everybody's going to be talking about it. And I'm not going to be aware. It's FOMO at this point. It's complete FOMO. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm going to watch it.
God. Why would you watch something you don't enjoy? There's never going to be a moment I watch something I don't enjoy. Yeah, but I walk out of movies I don't enjoy.
But what if something cool eventually happens? I'm only episode 1. Episode 1 sucks.
Then you maybe get back into it and let someone tell you. But you don't go through boring just so you can go, oh, I saw that boring piece of crap too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was about to dump out. I talked to Brian ahead of time before the show, and he tells me, there's a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Street parallels. That can't suck. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping me going.
Okay.
If somebody tells you
so bore yourself to death and watch another episode.
If somebody tells you there's Nightmare on Elm Street parallels, you kind of need to see what's going on.
It depends on who tells me there's a Nightmare on Elm Street parallel.
So you don't trust Brian? I think Brian and I are more copacetic on these things.
So, is Brian a crazy Nightmare on Elm Street?
There are 100%
man?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm pretty sure he
likes
likes
down to certain actors being in the show.
Oh, is Robert Englund in it?
You have to watch to find out.
Ooh. See,
Yeah, but
he's making me do this.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but Robert
he's
Englund,
making me hang in there.
I like Robert Englund, but he's not. I'm not going to watch a. I'm not going to sit.
He was
through,
great in Strangeland.
I'm not going to sit through Stranger Things just to see Robert Englund. If someone comes out with knives on their hands and then stabs somebody in their dreams, I'll watch.
Well, we don't know. That may be it. That may be the parallel.
Okay, then you tell me. If it happens, I'll watch that episode.
I will say that's pretty close to what happens.
Oh, see? Boom. I'm in. I'm back in.
All right.
I'm back in. So
you tell me.
Then
I'll let you find out.
Okay, this next one, by the way, I'm mentioning, as much as I poo-pooed it last week, I saw the first episode of Obi-Wan because you guys were all like, oh, you'll see it. You know I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan. Why is Star Wars they have the same story over and over? Why can't they come up with a new story? Like they literally have this, somebody gets taken, now somebody else has to go get that person. That's all it is.
I want to see.
I don't know why does everybody love Star Wars? Why does everyone love Star Wars so much when it's the same story? It's the
Star
same.
Wars is pretty cool. But you don't. I mean, they don't need. They need to stop
story.
telling the same story.
And every time they go to a weird bar, see weird little aliens, and it's just like, come on, do something different.
Oh, Stranger Things.
Brian got me back into Stranger Things.
It's the same thing. Stranger Things is they don't do anything different.
But that's only been 4 seasons at this point. Star Wars is all over the place everywhere. How many Star Wars movies do they have? It's the same
9.
stuff. Then you throw in the various offshoots.
Han Solo 10, and
then there's the
Rogue One 11,
animated clone thingies, and all that other crap. Why can't they I don't understand. Like the comic book people, and Brian maybe can attest to this. The comic book people are very creative people. They come up with all kinds of. As much as I hate multiverse, they come up with crazy things. Why can't the comic book people go talk to the Star Wars people and create cool things?
The Star Wars has a lot of cool things.
It's the same story, though.
How is it the same story?
Somebody gets kidnapped by the dark side, and the Jedi has to go save them. Same thing.
Luke was never kidnapped by the dark side.
But
he
Leia was kidnapped, and they had to go get
Leia was kidnapped as a kid, basically.
Well, and then Leia was kidnapped as a teenager or a young woman, and then Luke had to go rescue her in A New Hope.
Yeah. So in Obi-Wan, basically, first episode, you should have already seen it by now if you really wanted to see it. Little kid Leia.
Anakin is not kidnapped.
No.
Anakin falls for the dark side because Palpatine just keeps influencing him.
So episode 1 of Obi-Wan, little Leia, who's like 10 years old or whatever, goes and gets kidnapped by Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is weird. But anyway, she goes and gets kidnapped, and then Obi-Wan, who's supposed to be watching over Anakin, gets called to go ahead and save her. He's like, oh, she's kidnapped. You got to go get her. Boom, done.
Okay.
We're going to spend the whole season.
So you're going to ruin Obi-Wan, which just came out when?
Yes. No, it came last week. That's episode 1. I don't know what episode 2.
You just ruined episode 1 for who's ever listening, yet you want to hold dear Top Gun.
Yes, it's much better.
Wow.
Well, more
you
people,
can't just pick and choose what you ruin.
More people probably have access to Obi-Wan on Disney Plus than going to see Top Gun in the movie theater.
Go to the movie theater just like people have done for
but I'm saying
dozens and dozens, hundreds of years.
The first week, there's a lot of sellouts, all that kind of stuff. So if you legitimately tried but didn't try early enough, and you're going to see it this week,
you could have seen it Memorial Day weekend. All you had to do is buy tickets 2 days.
Yeah. Well, anyway, with Obi-Wan, that's all I'm saying. Star Wars needs to amp up.
You never liked Star Wars anyway.
Exactly. I'm just saying I gave
You're
it a
the
try.
wrong person to review it.
I gave it a
Brian,
try.
Have you seen it?
I have.
You know he
And is it good?
Obi-Wan? No.
Damn.
You know he saw it. And
I even watched the 3rd episode that came out today.
Oh.
And it's not good?
Am I wrong in my description?
No. And I think part of it is I don't like the director that's doing Obi-Wan, this series. I think she had some of the worst or the weakest episodes of The Mandalorian, and looking back at her IMDb, I mean, she has done a lot of, I don't think, great work. So
Well,
I
no,
don't
we
know how she
do.
got a job.
Nerd.
Yeah, he's nerd. He's
Like
nerding
he's not
out.
even like
nerd.
he's not even like, well,
nerd.
Obi-Wan shouldn't have been in the sand or whatever. He was like, no, I don't like the director. She directed
Yeah, no. There,
episode 3 of The Mandalorian.
after he does like Matt's music, like your whatever music thing is.
We need one for nerd.
Nerd. Nerd.
Sorry, Brian. I know you were actually making my point, but you took it to a different level with like.
Well, I do.
the
I was going to think
It's like,
about
you know, the
watching
guy did-
Obi-Wan, but now I'm not going to watch.
You know, the guy who did craft services on the third Obi-Wan was.
But I respect Brian's opinion on Obi-Wan, so now I probably
See,
won't
there
watch.
you go. It sucks.
Thanks,
Yeah, but
Brian.
you don't like my
Ruined it.
opinion of Stranger Things, so
I won't watch Stranger Things. I haven't seen a single episode.
Yeah, he knows.
I think you
nothing.
would watch
He's like,
Obi-Wan and you would get really annoyed by some of the action directing and stuff. Just
Oh,
as-
I'm sure I would. I'm not gonna even watch now.
I will say
Save me hours.
One thing I noticed about Stranger Things though is
more on Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby Brown, the main little girl thing. She, first of all, she's dating John Bon Jovi's son, which is a genius move on her point.
Ulterior motive.
Genius move on her part, because she's going to cash in on the mother load because she's not going to work after Stranger Things. Because quite frankly, no one. I think she's tried things and nobody cares about.
Not many of them are gonna. They all are gonna try to cash in. Not many of them.
So
are
she's
going
smart there. But what I realized is I saw like a picture of her from like now they're all older looking and stuff. She looks just like spitting image of Elizabeth Perkins. And
Ooh,
I
like
was,
Elizabeth
I know, I
Perkins.
watched About last week. And so it was like 1986 Elizabeth Perkins, where she was like the roommate of Demi Moore. I'm telling you, they look identical. If you
By
put
the
them
way, you want to
together.
talk about that? Sean Astin looks awful now.
He looks like a sausage body. Like he
Awful.
looks like he's still a little boy. Like he looks the same as like Mikey from the Goonies, but completely sausaged out. Like his skin
Yeah.
didn't allow for much more.
No, he is huge now.
Yeah.
He is very heavy.
And he has like no personality whatsoever. I heard him on the radio he was like hosting a show.
Why does he still wear glasses? Oh my God.
That's his
dude,
choice in
stop.
life. Maybe he doesn't want LASIK or contact.
Wear contacts. You look like a fool now.
His career's over. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, but you cannot wear glasses like that.
He
and
looks
not-
like George Wendt in that picture right there.
I know he's got a perm and everything. Like, what are you doing?
He's trying to be
dude?
Norm in the new Cheers.
Like he used to look like an okay dude.
Yeah,
Now he looks weird.
it's crazy. So anyway, but she looks like Elizabeth Perkins. I want to see how she grows up. Yeah. So anyway, one more story, and this is weird, not TV related, but I want to say dummy of the week. You know, because we like dummies of the week.
I love dummies of the week.
Okay, we'll end on a dummy of the week. So now we're getting.
We should do
warm.
less TV, more dummies of the week.
Okay, fair enough. So the dummy of the week is this dude who basically a couple years ago wins $10 million in lottery scratchers.
10 million.
$10 million. That should be the happy
Take home probably 4, but
that
seriously.
should be the complete success story. $4 million for the rest of your life. You're golden.
Done. You're golden.
So
Invest correctly. You have the money for the rest of your life.
But guess what? Speaking of life, he is now going to jail for life
What a dummy face.
for killing his fiance, who he accused of like cheating on her.
Okay, dummy face. You just, if it's fiance, you don't owe her anything yet. There's no, like, you can just say, get lost, keep the ring, and see ya.
Who are these? That's what I don't get. Who are these people that like kill their husband, kill their fiance, kill their. If you don't like the person, so they don't want to be with you, go your separate ways. Keep your, like in this case, keep your $4 million and be like, because even if
It's their loss.
even if they were married, right? And let's say she's owed half his money, $2 million doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't. But you don't even owe her $2 million because you're not married to her.
Exactly. Not a reason to kill somebody. Don't kill, like, if somebody doesn't want to be
I'm
with
not going
you,
to kill anybody anyway, but I'm definitely not going to kill anyone if I have $4 million.
like if somebody's cheating on you, let them go. Leave.
If I have $4 million, I am not doing anything to anybody.
Do you know how attractive you would be if you had $4 million?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. This guy doesn't need come on, you could get better.
Dude, Cindy Starfall would be in the studio whispering I love you into my ear if I had
Yeah. So now this dummy
$4 million
in prison for life, not enjoying his $4 million. How good's your $4 million now, son?
Well,
It's not.
I don't think you lose your $4 million.
You don't lose it, but I don't think
So. I mean, depending on how long he goes to jail for, maybe he has a lot when he gets out.
he's not. They said he's in there for life. He got life in prison.
Ooh.
So
no chance of parole?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. States always change, right? So even if they say no chance now, it could change it eventually. But here's the thing:
does he have any next of kin or something like that?
He could fill up his commissary. If they go hey, your commissary has now got $1 million in it. He's going to be a celebrity within the prison, and maybe that would be my angle. If I had to go, I would do that because then I'd be like, oh, big dude over there, you want some Twinkies? They're on me. Boom.
Right.
You want some smokes?
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's going to run pretty quick too. You know what I mean? $1 million in prison might be harder to come, but harder to lose.
Man, what a moron! That's you literally are an idiot face.
Yeah, absolutely dummy of the week.
You're worse than dummy. That's just complete imbecilism.
Got another dummy. And this will be the end of the dummy. It's not a big long story because we've been talking about Top Gun. I found this out this week that back when the first Top Gun came out, Bryan Adams was approached to be on the album because Bryan Adams was this huge. He was big back in the early 80s.
Don't tell me.
And he refused to do it because he was like, "Oh no, it's too rah rah America." And
he didn't want
to support the military action. And I'm like, what? Bryan Adams? I know he's Canadian, but still, come on. Bryan Adams.
Wow, that was a great career choice.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Kenny Loggins is laughing his way to the bank.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Bryan Adams has done pretty well for himself, but still,
he's no Kenny Loggins.
You don't turn
He's
down.
probably better than Kenny Loggins, but Kenny Loggins pimp.
I don't know. I'd take Kenny Loggins over Bryan Adams.
I would, but I don't know how much money they each have in their bank.
I'm sure Kenny Loggins is doing pretty well. Unless
he's got royalties up to yin yang.
Unless Kenny got taken advantage of by an accountant, I'm pretty sure he's doing
the royalties he has are pretty.
Where Bryan Adams, he's got a couple of hits. But if you said, hey, same night Bryan Adams is playing and Kenny Loggins
all day long,
I'd take K-Log.
Of course, he's got 4 big hits.
Oh, here we go. Bryan Adams is worth 16 million. Okay,
just don't kill anybody, K-Log.
What's Kenny Loggins worth?
That was Kenny Loggins.
Oh no, no, never mind. 16 million. So, come on, Bryan. Oh my God.
Yeah, I told you, Bryan's got a lot more, dude.
How does he have 70? Is
Summer of 69 and all those?
Is that Canadian dollars? maybe that's the difference. Don't get his own. Summer of 69 is great, and Heaven and stuff like that.
I mean, he's got so many hits.
But Kenny Loggins does too.
Yeah, but Kenny Loggins has movie hits. Bryan Adams has hits you play on an actual
I guess
CD.
Bryan Adams is probably playing arenas.
Well, this says that he lost a lot of money in his second divorce.
Kenny Loggins, yeah. Well, see, that's what happened.
Sucks.
He got
Way
taken
to go,
advantage of.
Kenny, you idiot.
Oh, and then he
stay married.
Apparently he also lost a bunch of money in a multi-level marketing scam called Equinox.
Ooh, bad investments.
Whoa, what do you mean? Seriously, okay, there, dude.
Poor
Stop
K-Log.
investing.
So if he hadn't have made,
why does he invest in subfacts? That's a much better investment.
So if he hadn't made poor investment choices, he'd be winning.
Yeah, he'd probably be winning.
Yeah. Anyway, Bryan Adams, stupid. Why would you go, oh no, it's too pro
You're
American,
dumb.
pro-military? I'd be like, that's why I'm going to do it.
People like that make really big mistakes. You're dumb. Sorry, Bryan Adams, you're dumb.
And I bet you right now he regrets it.
They're coming up with, they actually replayed Danger Zone in the movie. Yeah. I didn't see the change in it, but either way.
Yeah. Anyway, Bryan Adams.
Way to go, Brian, dummy.
Stupid.
Dummy.
So with that being said,
I'll tell you, he's not a dummy.
Exactly. I was waiting for that one.
All music, all tech support provided for subfacts is done by our friend Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in our hometown of Leesburg, Virginia. But not only does it stop there, he does specific client requirements. He does video live stream events, youth events, corporate events, weddings, concerts, bar mitzvahs, pro karaoke, and now he even does youth camps on learning audio and visual. How cool is that?
I'm not gonna lie, I am so jealous of that. Like I literally, like, I know I gave my age away in the beginning of this show, but like I want to see if I can sneak into the youth class, because
that would be awesome
like,
if you could.
If I was a little me, and even now me, like little me, if I had that opportunity to go to Creative Underground, learn all about production, and it even technically I could probably like make my own first song or something.
Audio, visual, all that jazz.
I would pay like top dollar if I could. And like, it's just such a great thing. You never hear, but you always see stupid camps where it's like all these like, oh, we're doing pottery or whatever.
Yeah, dumb camps.
Dumb. This is the only cool camp, the first cool camp
and
I've ever seen.
It teaches you like you can use in the future.
Absolutely.
For your job and like school, everything.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to learn the behind the scenes of like this stuff?
I do. World. I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah. And by the way, if you love us and you want to do your own podcast, that's the guy to go to.
Yeah.
He'll show you how to do all of it.
Seriously. Do whatever you call it. Go to Zoltar, say you want to be 13 again, and go to one of his camps.
Exactly. I so want to do that because I want to be a part of it. He should let me. We should be. No, what if we were guest speakers?
Awesome. Dude.
We could totally do that. Him. He'd let us.
I want to be a guest speaker.
He'd let us do it. We'd be guest speakers. We go, hello, children's. Sit down. Sit down, children's. We'll tell you about subfacts. Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's I want to be a guest speaker.
Once again, do you want to give the website?
Okay, sorry. All the stuff we talked about. If you want to register your kid for the camp, or if you want to register an adult, we'll put in a good word for you.
www.creativeunderground.co, not .com.
Boom. Thanks, Andy.
And you heard him at the beginning of our show, Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com. When he is running around town, biking through DC, he's listening to Subfacts. But when he's running around town biking through DC, I'm looking at all the photos he posts on Facebook, and they're fantastic.
Yeah, he's a pimp.
He is.
I mean, everything he posts is amazing.
The king of photography.
King photography.
Exactly. Ben is an award-winning image builder and FAA certified pilot of drones. It was just funny in Top Gun, they mentioned drones, and I'm like, where's Ben?
Where's Ben?
Ben could be the Top Gun drone guy.
He could be. He easily could be a drone guy.
He'd be amazing at it. So he's.
I think he would get it done in faster than 2 minutes and 15 seconds too.
Oh, absolutely! Don't think he wouldn't. Ben can weave in and out of those mountains and with the drones like no other.
Oh my god, dude! Maverick versus Ben controlling one of his drones. Oh,
that's going to be the sequel, Top Gun Ben. Or call sign
Top Gun Ben.
Call sign Ben. And so
Snapshot. No, we'll call him Snapshot.
Oh, Snapshot. You're like the king of nickname guy. I'm not a fan of Jingle, but Snapshot's fantastic.
Jingle's good.
Dude, I'm calling Ben Snapshot from now on. Call sign Snapshot. If you want to see,
dude, if he gets Snapshot DC at,
that would be so great. If you want to see amazing pictures and book him for anything except for weddings and bar mitzvahs, go to KStreetPhotographyDC.com and ask for Snapshot.
There you go. Boom. That's just too funny. Now you got to give a name to Kyle. So
I'm not doing it. You're the name guy.
I'm the name guy. All right. So, it's June, 20 days until summer gets here. You're going to want your ride to look the best it possibly can. He just showed us some pictures of like the trailers he did, like concert trailers.
Yeah, they're literally like what a band would go like tour in, like touring van,
touring
buses, basically.
But I mean, I'm not going to lie. I saw the photo firsthand. He actually took a shot of what looked like green grass, like a street sign and like a curb, and like him doing like a thumbs up. But it wasn't a straight on shot. He had taken the shot via the mirror effect of the wax he put on.
That's crazy. The
Yeah.
shine, the sheer
The
shine
shine-
was the picture you saw.
Yeah, the shine. He didn't have a mirror. He didn't have a mirror. He took like the shine had a mirror effect, and he took a picture.
He takes these things that look like they toured with the Grateful Dead for 30 years and makes them look brand new, like fresh out of the showroom.
Yeah. And if you want like to be a groupie and follow, and you need your ride to look good, you got to give him a call. He makes everything look like $1 million. I said it from day one. Big Dog Auto Detailing, 571-233-8716.
Boom. And what's his nickname? Do we have one?
No.
Well, he has to be called sign Big Dog, though, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't it
Big
be-
Dog. Yeah. I mean, he has to be, unless
Like
they think
that
of a
would be
better one.
awkward if he didn't. Like, or
Yeah, no,
call
he
sign-
already has BK and now Big
Yeah,
Dog.
he's
sorry.
got enough of them. But I would be curious to see it, like if you could just come up with like another one, even though he's already got Big Dog and BK. We'll come up with one later.
Okay. I'll think of something.
Okay, good. I want to know what you're going to come up with. But anyway, with that being
Yeah,
said,
I can't. There's only. I mean, Snapshot was probably the genius. I can't use too much
Okay,
genius up. in
that's
one day.
true. We don't want to like work all the genius out. But if you want to know more about the genius that's sitting next to me or me, go to subfactspodcast.com. You can see pictures of us. You can order merch. Now's the time for the beach
Merch.
towels, the t-shirts, hats, pretty much you name it, we've got it. Subfactspodcast.com. If you want to write into the show, write into subfactspodcast@gmail.com. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. We're nice people. We're gentle.
We're awesome people. I like to
Yes.
think we're great people.
And we're trying to make the world a better place. So, that's what we do.
And
One
make
show,
the world a better place
better
for
place,
you,
one show at a time.
for me.
And so you can write us at subfactspodcast@gmail.com. If you have friends that you're telling about our show, which I hope you do, let them know that we're available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts. Samsung is the latest one.
Samsung podcast, Apple podcast.
Yes, not Deezer though. We're still
God.
we're
But
fighting.
Stitcher's still there.
Yeah,
Stitcher.
everybody else is still there. We're just fighting with Deezer.
We better win. We better win.
I got faith in us. We can do this.
We can do it.
Anyway, we can do it. With that being said, everybody, I hope you guys had a safe Memorial Day. I hope you're safe right now. Stay safe, and we will talk to you later. I don't know why
Awesome.
I'm saying
See ya.
safety, but making the world a better place, everybody.
I don't have a vice one.